the third quarter of play. Grand Rapids.
Second half action kicking off here. The Dallas Desperados are going to get the ball first, and it is a must-score possession. Dallas, at the end of the first half, electing to run the ball 3 times in a row with the Rampage holding all 3 timeouts, 3 consecutive timeouts, and a touchdown later is putting the Dallas Desperados down 21 points to begin the third quarter in this possible Arena Bowl preview, as you got the number 2 ranked team in the National Conference right now, Dallas, going up against the number 1 ranked team in the American Conference and the number 1 ranked team in the Arena Football League, the Grand Rapids Rampage. So we'll see what Dallas has. Clint Storner has done a very nice job throwing the football here today. And we'll see if they can keep up and keep playing hard.
Ball on the 23-yard line.
42-21 is your score. Glad to have you back on TB Sports here. We're going to have a lot of arena football on the channel because we heard from you guys on Patreon. We have a monthly thread that goes up, and we actually had some of you guys just reach out and message me and put your request in, which is cool as well. And for those of you at that level, the mega fan and the ultra fan level, and you guys said, I want to see some arena football. So that's what we're giving you guys here on the channel as Dukes gets thrown up and over the boards. He gets the first down. That was the man that was kind of the recipient of all those boos because they ran it with him 3 times in a row rather than trying to either pick up some first downs or move the ball or what. Storner is going to be picked off for the second time. And the Dallas Desperados starting to unravel.
What are you thinking? Get the ball back.
Dallas is starting to fall apart here in this one.
Ball on the 16-yard line.
And it could be, well, we had the last 2 weeks, we were kind of looking at our Rampage like, oh man, we might be starting to show some weakness, some cracks in the armor, if you will. We have come on as of late, especially in this game. Corey Fleming's going to cap it. The turnover, the touchdown.
Here we go, yeah, bring it on.
Grand Rapids, I think we might be passing up the San Jose SaberCats of, 2017, 2018, is one of the greatest teams in arena football history here. There has been no slowing this team down, or if there has, it's been very minimal. 49-21 here.
Grand Rapids is lined up for the
Grand Rapids coming in here
back deep to return.
with another solid, and this is a solid performance on the road as well. So Clint Storner with the back-to-back interceptions, or not back-to-back, but throwing 2 interceptions here, hurting his team's cause. They will pitch it out to Salam, Victor Salam. And whatever unique play calling Dallas is just going with, it's not really working out for them.
Ball on the 15-yard line.
Clint Storner pressured. Victor Salam makes the catch, first down. Chris Oldham not happy, and Oldham and Salam got some words for each other.
Ball on the 20-yard line.
Storner, pressure from the outside. Victor Salam hits the spin move on Chris Angel, who's usually pretty lights out, and gets the touchdown. That's incredible. Chris Angel last week had a pretty incredible game, and well, he just got outspinned. So Dallas, they're back within 21. Start thinking about taking onside kicks here at some point. I know we're early in the second half. We're 4 minutes into this episode, but man, you might start looking at possibly doing that. We'll see. We'll see. Grosh, just got drilled and taken back. Damian Grosh.
First and 10. Ball on the 14
See if our Rampage can keep up the pressure. We're looking at 60 points again here. We get a couple more scores. I'd even be looking at a 70-point look here. Willis Marshall, what a catch at the 10.
Marshall with the reception. Gain of 26 on the play. First and goal.
Grand Rapids coming into this one with an 11-0 record. The Dallas Desperados 7-4. Touchdown, Grand Rapids. We are in sync right now, and the Desperado defense has no answers, and Shane Stafford, he may be looking to lock in yet another Player of the Week award.
The extra point attempt is good. Grand Rapids
Took just
is
2
lined up
plays,
for the kickoff.
35
Roberts
yards
back deep
for
to return.
the Rampage to go back up by 4 touchdowns. Lance Roberts, decent return. Maybe up to the 20, 21-yard line.
Roberts on the
Banana Ball, Savannah Bananas were in my neck of the woods the other day. You guys ever been to a Savannah Bananas
will
game?
start the drive at the 21-yard
I didn't
line.
go because I was
First
working,
and
but
10.
it'd be fun to go to one of those. Storner. T.T. Tolliver. Fans are bailing out already after that nice catch. That's wild. That's kind of the crazy thing with this Desperados team is they've played very, very well. It's just a couple of mistakes. The 2 turnovers, the kick return touchdown. Really, I'd say the difference on the scoreboard is those 2 interceptions. One of them pick 6, the kick return touchdown, and the blunder at the end of the first half where they ran the ball 3 times and kicked it away. That's your 4 touchdown difference that you got on the scoreboard right now. Other than that, Dallas has pretty much been going toe-to-toe here with the Rampage. Although Chad Dukes, they just seem hell-bent on making that run game happen. I don't know why. I don't know why they're so... they just want that to happen so bad, but... by God, they're trying. Storner to Jay Hun. That was his XFL nickname. And it is going to be 4th and goal. So Dallas is going to go for it here with less than a minute to go in the 3rd. And this could be make it or break it time for the Desperados. Storner, plenty of time. Clean pocket, into double coverage, looking for James Hunden. And it's incomplete.
First and 10.
So there you go. And that could be it for the Dallas Desperados. See what happens on this drive, but there's been no signs of this Rampage offense slowing down. And it's not going to happen there as Damian Grosh sneaks past Colby McCaffrey. And the Rampage are a throw or 2 away from putting a 60 on the board. Touchdown, Grand Rapids. Grocery store express checkout, Damian Grosh. 9 touchdowns for the Grand Rapids Rampage. 63 points. Officially 63 with that extra point. 63-28 in your possible Arena Bowl preview here. 4 games remain after this week. Playoffs, including the Arena Bowl, will be a grand total of 8 games, or excuse me, 3 games for a grand total of 7 if we were to make it to the Arena Bowl. That is the end of the first quarter, and Grand Rapids has blown the doors off of Dallas. It is 63-28. If you're enjoying what you're seeing and you want to see if this Rampage team can keep this up in the postseason, don't forget to follow us on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, because we always tweet when we're going live. Check out the archives and the bonus content on Patreon, and support the channel on Streamlabs. And if you're a coffee guy, if you're a coffee drinker, why don't you check out those Ko-fi links, right?
The pass ball's incomplete. Marshall on the coverage.
Check out those links. And,
Second and 10.
you know, bring TV Sports a cup of Java, a cup of Joe. Well, there you can maybe see why they've been trying to run the football so much. They're well below their season average. I guess that's kind of part of their normal game, but there you go. James Hunden is open, and there's a Dallas Desperados touchdown.
Touchdown, Desperados!
So a little, too late, but you're seeing the flashes of why this team was coming in as the number 2 seed in the National Conference. But as far as confidence levels go,
The extra point attempt is good.
for our team, for our Rampage, boy, we pretty much beat up the Desperados, beat up the Blaze, beat up the Gladiators, like all the top teams that you're looking at maybe an Arena Bowl run. We've blown them out. Onside kick's gonna go up and over the wall.
The kickoff goes out of bounds.
So, other than the fact that we haven't played and we won't play Orlando this year, we're looking in a good spot. We're looking good to bring home an Arena Bowl. Willis Marshall is open. Oh, and he drops it. T.T. Tolliver
The pass ball's incomplete.
forces that one
Marshall,
incomplete on
the intended
Marshall.
receiver on the play. Second and 10.
That's unreal.
Ball on the 14-yard
There's the
line.
number. That should have been touchdown pass number 8 for Shane Stafford. 7 touchdown passes, the pick 6, and the kick return touchdown. Oh, and T.T. Tolliver. Man, that was a connection back in the day with the Tampa Bay Storm. Shane Stafford to T.T. Tolliver. How many times did we see that?
10. Ball on the 9-yard line.
We saw it again here, but unfortunately it was an interception. That might have been the first ever Shane Stafford to T.T. Tolliver interception. We're used to seeing touchdowns, not interceptions. So Dallas buys an extra possession, and they're going for it. Clint Storner. They're going for the gusta here. Jerwin James. Oh, look at that. Coach gets popped. Chad Dukes popping the coach right in the face. So, you know, we talk about this team rarely has turnovers. We've turned it over twice in this game now. So that's kind of crazy. Storner to James once again. Chris Angel with a wicked tackle right into the boards. Still time for Dallas here.
Second and 2.
A touchdown here, you start getting some of these onside kicks. I don't think we've seen many successful onside kicks this season in our Arena Football series. Storner to Jay Hun, first down, shoved over the boards.
Are we the only ones playing?
First and 10. Ball on the 11-yard line.
Come on!
And that was just I don't have anyone to throw it to, so I'm going to go short to T.T. Tolliver.
Second and 11. Ball on the 11-yard
Pretty much your throw has got to be hitting that blue. If you're not seeing the football touch that blue end zone, and now they're all going that way. Touchdown. James Hunden, touchdown, Dallas Desperados. So they take advantage of the interception. They're back within 3 scores.
Give him room! Give him room! Psych him out!
63 is going to be 63-42. A kick by Steve Vijtek. Very nice 5-play, 40-yard drive for the Dallas Desperados. Inside kick, and Chris Angel is able to sneak in and pick that one up for recovery.
First and 10. Ball on the 10-yard line.
Looking for that 70. Well, if they had gotten the touchdown last time, this would be 77.
Go, go. Look it up. Move it, move it.
There's 70
Touchdown,
for
Red
Corey
Wings.
Fleming. Touchdown pass, number 8 for Shane Stafford. So we are back at a 28-point lead here for the Grand Rapids Rampage. 70-42 the score here.
Grand Rapids is lined up for the kickoff.
And we've seen some defenses. We kind of mentioned last week when we were playing against the Colorado Crush that we thought maybe defenses kind of figured us out. And we've seen some turnovers here. Don't get me wrong, but this was certainly not a defense with 70 points that seemed like they kind of got any
Start the
stops.
drive at the 17-yard line. 1st and 10.
Storner. They're going to say incomplete, and the boos ringing down again here for the Dallas hometown
On
fans.
the play. 2nd and 10. Ball on the 17-yard line.
Push the line.
Storner. Victor Salam. Big collision there in the corner.
Number 83 makes the reception. Gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 4. Ball on the 22-yard line.
Storner. Incomplete. Listen to the boos. I haven't heard this many boos.
Fastball's incomplete.
They're going to go for a field goal, so this is essentially a team giving up on this game. That one bounces off the iron.
No good.
Damian Grosh. Oh, almost broke that one back.
Hey, man. What's up, coach?
Oh, you got a minute 32 here.
Ball on the 25-yard line.
In arena football, you really can't slow down. I mean, you can maybe run it once, but once you hit to those 1-minute timing rules, clock stops. Grosh for the first down to the 10. And we're about to, I think we're about to drop 77 on the second best team in the National Conference. So it continues. Whether or not, and this is the mob of slam ball. Is it good or bad for the sport? Is it good or bad for my channel to having so many dominant games instead of exciting games?
Fleming, ball carrier.
I've never been this dominant in this game before. Never had a team. We're going to move to 12-0
The 13-yard line.
with this one getting into the books. Kind of crazy. And you got, again, you can go look at the history. We're using the same sliders, same difficulty as we did with the Georgia Force, that we did with the Kansas City Brigade. So there's no changes here. It's the same exact, but man, oh man. And we have the same sliders that I'm playing with, the computer is playing with too. The same offense, defense, all the sliders are exactly the same for offense, or for me and the CPU. So it's just, we're just figuring out the formula in this one. Touchdown to Damian Grosh for a 77. And we can normally call a timeout here. As we said, we would kind of do that to stop the clock, but I think we're going to let the clock wind down. It's pretty much Dunyan rings at this point, guys. As we'll move to 12-0, and I think if we look at the standings, we may have even clinched the top seed. And then it's going to be kind of playing for at that point, not only just to keep up momentum, but to maybe try to get an undefeated season. 4 games away from an unbeaten season in arena football. We'll look at the final schedule too those last 4 weeks, but I mean, almost unthinkable in the Arena Football League because it's such a competitive game. And going into the postseason, we've seen teams that had 14, 15 wins that get beat by teams that have 7, 8 wins. We've seen it. We've seen teams that have come close. Like, go look. There was one year the Arizona Rattlers played like the 4-win Portland Steel in the postseason. Portland almost won that game. So you can slip up at any minute. So to get a 16-0 season in arena football, knowing that we're right there, that we're knocking on the door. And if you take away the 2 INTs, Storner played really well, but I continue to point out it was basically a 4-point deficit the entire way. There's going to be the 3rd interception of the day as Chris Ford comes down with the interception.
All right. Great job. Nice going, guys.
It's going to be
nice
Lonnie
job.
Ford.
Way to go.
And I continue to say that pretty much your deficit right there that you were looking at was pretty much the pick 6, the interception, the turnover, so the 2 interceptions, the kick return, and then the end of the first half, not going for the touchdown. So Lonnie Ford will run it, almost got 80 on the board, but the time will tick away, and the Grand Rapids Rampage will move to 12-0.
Final score is Grand Rapids
77-42, your final, and the Rampage on the road, dominant once again.
Please drive home safely.
We have just 4 games left this season. Let's take a look at the scores from week 12, and let's take a look at the standings. Got to throw this in here real quick. Shane Stafford, once again, your player of the game. I think he's been MVP every game this season. At the end of the year, we're going to look at all the final stats, but Stafford's got to be far and away your MVP candidate. Here are your scores for week number 12. The Destroyers pick up the 1-point win over the New York Dragons. How about this blowout? The Georgia Force blowing out the Orlando Predators. Only 28 points for Orlando. So that's going to put Orlando at 10-2, and that's just going to make the cries even bigger that are going to pretty much point at our Grand Rapids Rampage being the team. This is a high-scoring battle. Wow, the Cats, 2-point win over the Soul. The Gladiators getting whooped up on by the SaberCats. That's a shocking outcome there. The Tampa Bay Storm with the win over the Austin Wranglers, 48-35. There you see 77-42. The Rampage at 12-0. The Utah Blaze, 51-46 at 9-3. 49-46 your final. The Rush able to get the win over the Arizona Rattlers. The New Orleans Voodoo getting the win over the Colorado Crush, 54-49. So we'll look at the standings, and then we are going to look at our schedule down the stretch here. So again, 4 games left. Pretty much, I mean, there's still a chance we don't get the number 1 seed. We've clinched a division title with 4 games left, but we have not clinched home field advantage yet. So we got to keep playing hard in that regard. Pretty likely that it's going to be the Rampage, the Blaze, and the Gladiators. The Cats, of course, have a 2-game lead. The SaberCats, the Crusher right there. The Rush have an outside shot, but it's not looking good. All of these teams have an outside shot, but it's not looking good. On the national side, Predators, Desperados, and Force. But it continues to be competitive here with the Voodoo, the Destroyers, the Soul. Even these 4, everyone I think is still alive in the national side. And if you look at the schedule, or excuse me, the team schedule here, as we have the final games of the season, there you see it. Actually, I take back what I said. I mentioned, I think it was in, I don't know if it was this week or the week before, I had mentioned that I didn't think we were going to get an opportunity to play with those rounded end zones that we're going to see in the Arena Bowl again. Well, I take that back because we actually do have a game with the Austin Wranglers on the schedule. So we will have an opportunity to test ourselves against those unique rounded end zones that we may see in the Arena Bowl in Vegas. But we got the Arizona Rattlers, and actually it's a pretty favorable schedule the rest of the way. Of course, Nashville over 500, but we, had our way with them earlier this season. But Rush, Wranglers, and Rattlers should be pretty easy wins, and 3 of those 4 games all at home. Only 1 road game left and only one game against a team with a winning record. So it's looking pretty favorable that maybe this undefeated season might just happen. So you do not want to miss a second of the action. Make sure you're following us on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, Twitter, Patreon, Streamlabs, and Ko-fi. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for Arena Football Action, and we'll see you guys next time.